Just a reminder, media, if you could please silence your cell phones. Coach will begin with a brief opening statement, and then we'll go to questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Coach, whenever you're ready.
You guys, we have a very interesting opponent this weekend. Obviously, going down to play at the University of Maryland. It's a team with a lot of good football players. Coach Loxley, ex-offense coordinator from Alabama, does a nice job recruiting. The DMV is an area that we also recruit, and we have a lot of kids from that area. We have a lot of alumni there. We also feel that, and we need our alumni to come out. It's going to be one of those games where how many of us is in the stands is going to be a key contributing factor in whether we win or lose. It's going to be a very close contest, and we definitely have our hands full. Questions?
Andrew?
Any update on Sam Heckel? I saw he's listed with the OR with Air and Service at center.
Sam's got an upper body injury, and right now we are continuously checking on his progress to see if he's going to be available or not for the game.
Hopeful he plays this week, expecting.
I'm always hopeful.
Is he practicing to start the week?
Excuse me, sir.
Is he practicing to start the week?
We do not know that until practice starts. We didn't practice today or Sunday.
Right,
Eric?
We talked in the preseason about replacing Chris Slayton. How impressed are you with guys like Josh Black, Kingsley Jonathan, and Curtis Harper against Liberty?
Josh Black got our defensive game ball. He did a fantastic job. Also, Mo Neal got our offensive game ball. And, I'm going to forget our special teams player. Don't do this to me. I'm going to blank out in front of you guys. Give me a second. Oh, special teams was Terrell Richards. Did a fantastic job for us, Old Canada. So those three young men had outstanding games. Also, before I forget, Otto Zaccardo has been put on full academic aid. Okay, he's done a fantastic job for us in special teams. And that also happened Sunday night for you guys.
Nico?
We're up in no man's land. Coach, it's the second game, obviously. It's the second game with a team that has a new coaching staff and all kind of the unknowns there. I'm just wondering what you maybe have seen so far from these guys, and if it's any less unknown than maybe it was last week.
I gotta apologize to you, Nico, because when you said you were up and then I started looking at you and I didn't hear the first part of the question. I've never seen you that far back in here before.
I got here a little later than
I need to talk to somebody. You gotta get you a reserved seat up front. This is not good.
I was good on it. I'm running my own show this day. But
First part of your question.
yes, so by all means, obviously second straight game where it's a team that's breaking in a new coaching staff and all the unknowns with that. I'm just wondering if what you've been able to see on film from the first game, how much is a little less unknown than maybe it was last week.
Well, it's really hard to tell. Obviously, they had a fantastic outing. I think they set all kind of scoring records with the shutout. They also, that team was a little. I'm not taking away. That was a good outing. We wish we had an offensive outing like that, the way their offense played, along with the way their defense played. So you can't take anything away from them. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Maybe even put the icing on the cake on that opponent, so to speak. So our eyes are wide open, and based off of how we played and how they played, I could see how people would have them favored, and they're probably looking they're very excited probably to play us based off of what they see.
Curious, when you got to rewatch the film and you're looking at the passing game, how much of the apparent miscommunication is Tommy, how much of it's the receivers, and how do you kind of attack that this week?
This is exactly the way I see it. I'm not gonna, you guys get it right this time, because I'm not gonna keep going back over it. To me, this is two-a-days. This is guys being hurt, in, not in, and throwing off the timing in the throwing game. And then all we have to do is get it back. I saw it happening. I mentioned it to you guys during two-a-days. I wasn't really happy with it, but there's only so much you can do. If a guy is hurt, he's hurt, and he can't go. And the throwing game is so delicate. It is so sensitive. And you start taking pieces out and moving them around, and it changes everything. And I think that's what you saw. And I talked to the team about it after the game, about guys. Our defense, we didn't have outside of the one injury we didn't have a single guy on defense miss a snap of two-a-days. We didn't have any of our major special teams guys miss a snap of two-a-days. And really, even Sean Riley that put one on the ground, Sean practiced all the way through two days except for one scrimmage. So really, he did a nice job as well out of the veterans. But out of that, we had some guys missing, and that affects the throwing game. The running game can still be okay, but for the throwing game, you need all those guys. So we need to get that timing back.
Josh?
Thought the secondary, obviously the defense as a whole played very well, and you guys had the rushing yards that you didn't let up, but the secondary also played very well. How would you kind of characterize that unit this year? Like, what sort of traits do you think stand out, and what the secondary brings back from last year? And kind of what they're doing?
I think what you want me to say is that they can be good. Is that what? I mean, they're good. I mean, I think, Alton probably created like 4 or 5 sacks. I mean, he ran by the quarterback like 6 or 7 times. It was like he was running by saying boo, and the guy would move somewhere and someone else would get the sack. I mean, and on the back end for Iffy to get a turnover, I believe those guys were playing ball now. And I really thought they could play better. I mean, I was constantly talking to some guys during the games that I thought their concentration was wavering a little bit. But any time from a defensive standpoint, and that's that you can get a shutout in today's college football against any opponent, it is an A. Excellent, great job. The word great is greatly overused, but not in this case. That is a great job.
Is there any emphasis in the secondary this year on being more physical? It seemed like they were kind of all over the receivers from what I was seeing.
I wouldn't say that. I think that ever since we had our game 2 years ago in the Dome where we had somebody rush for a lot of yards on us, that we've kind of changed our mentality back there that if you're not going to tackle, you're not going to be physical, you're not going to play. And I think the biggest difference between good defenses and bad defenses is how the back end tackles. Okay, you can normally get enough tough guys in the front 7, but if you get some tough guys in the back 4, then you got a real defense.
How's McKinley Williams doing? Any chance we see him at Maryland?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit too soon for him still.
Still thinking Clemson? You said between week 2 and 3. Is a chance it goes beyond Clemson?
I'm not going to say that. I think he's right on pace. I don't think we'll see him this week.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Coach? In the middle?
We've seen with the running game kind of a lot of talk centered around Mo and Abdul, but Jarvion Howard got a couple of carries against Liberty. Is he shifting this more to a running back by committee?
I wouldn't say that. I'm not into that committee thing. There's normally one guy that's better than the other guys, and whoever's the better guy gets to play. I don't want to get caught up in this because I remember this whole thing about it's not intramurals. This is not intramurals. Everybody doesn't get a participation trophy. Guys work hard to become the starter, and if you're the starter, you deserve to play as much as you want to play until you get tired. Until you're so tired that you're not helping the team, you're hurting the team. Get out, let the backup get in, and then when you catch your breath, go back in. When our starters come out on their own, the coaches don't even put them back in. They go back in when they catch their breath, they get their water, go back in. We're not, no, stay out now. We don't do that. You pulled yourself out, you put yourself back in. Now, if you're on offense, you better not break up the tempo. You better not run in and make the officials stop the game. But outside of that, you pull yourself out, you put yourself back in. Those guys work hard to be the number one guy. They're only here so long. I don't really buy that committee stuff. If there's a whole bunch of guys that are good enough to play, and there's time for them to play, and the situation is right, they'll get in the game. But there's a reason why you have a starter, and there's a reason why you have a backup.
What did you take away from your new offensive linemen, Vettorello, Dakota Davis, Ryan Alexander? What did you see from them?
I saw him battle a little bit. It's kind of like a boxer in his first fight. You want to see him take a punch and give some punches, and they did that. Carlos had a couple of flags thrown his way. He needs to do a better job on that. But in one of the situations, he got beat so bad, I was like, you better had grabbed him. That's our starting quarterback. You better had. The official was like, see there, they're holding. But I thought they did an okay job, and now they have to get better. They can't stay the same. They cannot stay the same for us to have the success that we want to have. And they better get better. But I thought they were okay.
Eric?
With a few new guys on the offensive line, how important is it to have guys like Chris Elmore, Aaron Hackett, Luke Benson play a little bit, helping out in the rushing game?
It's big. It's big. Hackett knows what he's doing. Elmo, he knows what he's doing. Those guys are critical to what we do, okay? And they help the run game go.
Nate?
I think when you sort of figured the 4th year was when this program was going to pop, a lot of people thought that's when the offense is going to take off. But did you think it was because your defense was going to be this senior-laden defensive front and as good as you guys are defensively?
No. The biggest thing is I think that the more people are comfortable with each other, the bumps in the roads really aren't bumps in the roads. You don't feel them, and you're able to adjust and adapt and handle different situations better. And that's why I just thought it would be the 4th year. But you know, I'm fired up about a defense. I tell people all the time. I mean, it's not about me. 3 out of 4 years in college football, I was a defensive player. I know about defense. Okay, I appreciate good defense. 3 of my stops, I was a special teams coordinator. I love special teams. Constantly trying to get our players to play them so that when they go to the NFL, they can have a better opportunity to make the National Football League because they have expertise in special teams, which is critical if you're going to make that top level and get paid those salaries if you're not the top dog. So all those things are important. But, you know, that's okay. If someone was going to tell me I was going to have a nice defense and a really nice special teams and the thing they had to get better was offense, I'll play those cards.
Time for a couple more questions, Steven?
Haven't asked you about Cornelius Nunn since I think the start of camp. Really interesting recruitment, obviously with the Miami stuff, and now he's in a loaded defensive backs room. I was a little surprised not to see him travel, but I was going down the list and I was like, you bring 70 guys, how many can you bring? What have you seen from him development-wise, and what is it like to see a guy like that who's maybe touted to have to wait his turn?
Now, you know you break them. You know I don't like talking about guys that those guys are young, okay, and you're calling them out by name. This is what I'll say. I really like our young DB recruits, and I think that a good year of redshirting and getting stronger and getting better, if we don't need them this year, is exactly what they need. We're going to have massive graduations coming up on the defensive side of the ball, and we need to keep as many good players as we can young and redshirted for all the guys that we have leaving after this year.
How many of those guys would be playing 2 years ago?
Excuse me?
How many of those guys would be playing 2 years ago?
Oh, I'm not gonna say that. That wouldn't be fair. It's a good question, but I won't answer it.
Fair enough.
Final question for Coach? Yeah, Bob.
Coach, in light of the fact that your game Saturday was a little bit closer and the Maryland game was kind of a blowout, the thought is not to look forward to the home opener. With it being close at your end, blowout at that end, does that kind of keep the focus of the kids savvy enough to know, let's not look ahead, let's focus on this because this is going to be tough?
You know, let me handle this way. It seems like the generation or the population that has the hardest time about not looking ahead is everyone else, okay? We went out and played a football game yesterday and people got hit. People got hurt. Some people had success, some people didn't have success on both sides of the ball. Some people got better, some people got worse. And we know how important it is to play it one at a time. We're playing a Big Ten football team. The last time I saw this team on TV, they had a different head coach. They had different coaches, and I thought they were about to beat Ohio State. That's how good their personnel is. And I don't feel like they've lost that much personnel, and they went and got a quarterback from Virginia Tech and a linebacker from Clemson and a linebacker from Ohio State and another wide receiver from Virginia Tech and another tight end from Buffalo. It's portal transfer over there, you know. So they've reloaded with a lot of fantastic players on a team that's already had a lot of players that were good enough to almost beat Ohio State last year. We got our hands full and we're playing them at their place. So, you know, I wish you guys a blessed day, and I need to get back upstairs and watch this tape and see if we can find a way to win.
Thanks very much, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
You know?
Good question.
Yeah.